local news, President Muhammadu Buhari has risen in defense of the emergence of his fellow partyman and candidate of All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, as winner of the February 25th presidential election. Buhari is convinced about the justification of Tinubu's victory in the polls and has encouraged those who lost out to go to court. The president's comments were contained in a statement issued on Thursday by presidential spokesperson Garba Shehu. Speaking to Nigerians in the diaspora on the ongoing political transition, Buhari was quoted to have called for the support for the incoming government of Tinubu, stating that Nigeria will continue to be the beacon of hope and prosperity in the continent and an example for other African countries. Buhari disclosed that at no time did he consider annulling the 2023 presidential poll, as was the case of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, presumably won by the late MKO Abiola. On a day like this, Arise analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us to discuss President Buhari's position on this matter. Good day and welcome to the program today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's begin with that last statement that President Buhari said that at no time did he consider annulling the 2023 presidential poll, as was the case of the June 12, 1993 presidential election. This insinuates that the popular candidate was not the candidate who won. If we look at what played out in the June 12th election, what did you take from this statement? Because a lot of people are reading it as this is a confirmation that you know that the most popular candidate was not the candidate who was declared the winner.
Well, let me correct your impression there. MKO Abiola won the election fair and square. But it was annulled by the military leader then, IBB. But actually, I do not see the connection between June 12, 1993, and what we have on the ground now. That was a transition from military politics to democratic elections. But at the end of the day, the military leader cancelled it. This is very different. This is a victory by a candidate from the same party with the president, and he has endorsed his victory, which is to be expected, in spite of the odds. But if we look at the way the almost wayward, haphazard way in which we got to this endorsement of Tinubu's victory, you will see that at the outset, this president never wanted to be succeeded by the presidential candidate of his party, who happens to be Tinubu. Because on the eve of the election, he put in place a fiscal policy that alienated the entire Nigerian electorate in terms of not having money, because he changed the currency overnight. Even up to now, people are still suffering the effect of that. Tinubu won in spite of that. But more importantly, he lost in Lagos, his base, and he lost in the president's hometown, Katsina. In fact, the president was on record as apologizing to his people in Katsina that they should go and vote, that he never thought the currency change policy will generate such suffering and alienate people from his party. So it's a circumlocutor's route from Tinubu getting the nomination of his party through his indignation, Emilokon syndrome. It was against this president too. And then this policy, hostile electorate, hostile policy on currency change. But which, in spite of it all, the party won. So ironically, the party has succeeded itself. So it is in order for the president to hail the adulation. This does not mean that those who are complaining have no grounds, or that the international community is blind. The contentions are there. But like his son said, when an election is announced by a receiving officer, there is a rebuttable assumption that what has been announced is correct until people go to court, you get me, and rebut that assumption. People have gone to court now. So let the games begin in the courts.
Thank you, Mr. Sobowale.
Yes.
Now, could it be that with the gesture by the president, this is his way of trying to convince himself that he has in fact delivered on his mandate to deliver free, fair and credible elections, because it's coming, on the heels of the numerous complaints that you also acknowledged, whether internationally or locally? Is he just trying to convince himself that he made good on his promise by this gesture?
Well, in a circumlocutor's manner, too, I will say so. Get me? Because in putting obstacles on the path of his own party's candidate to succeed him, he has shown the world that he has no particular candidate to succeed him. And that has manifested itself. Although, in a way, it is his party that has succeeded him. So, if you look at it, you can use that yardstick to make him the neutral arbiter. You get me now? And the objective government given a level playing field to all contestants to succeed. We look at it that way, yes.
Okay, since we're talking circumlocutors, Bola Tinubu's election stands, quote unquote. Now, with all that's happening, with the temperature currently in the political environment, with the way the citizens of the country are feeling, those who voted, and all that's transpiring, and you have candidates who are contesting this election in court. I know that at some point in the statement, the president did say that they should go to court. But by saying that Bola Tinubu's election stands, doesn't that undermine the process that we're trying to go through to ensure that this election stands legally after all has been tried and tested? Isn't it a bit too soon to make this type of declaration?
No, I don't think so. Like I just quoted, the senior advocate the other time. There is a rebuttable assumption that the election result stands until that assumption is reported in the court and that decision is overthrown. He said it clearly. He is not saying this is the end of the road. He said anybody who disputes it, that he accepts it, anybody who disputes it should go to court. And people have gone to court.
As a statesman, as an elder, is this in good spirit? Is this a unifying statement to make?
On point of law.
On
for
point
the maintenance of law and order and stability. That's a good statement to make. You see, what makes it suspicious is that his party's candidate has won. But then, what he has said is in order. And he has shown that he has been even a hostile arbiter to his own party's presidential candidate. So what there is left?
We're almost out of time, Mr. Sobowale, but I'm curious, we've been waiting for the president to say something regarding the decision the Supreme Court took last week regarding the Naira notes, and he hasn't addressed that, but he's coming out to say Nigerians should, even in diaspora, should support the president-elect. Do you find it a bit strange that he's choosing what to address and what not to address?
What he chose is that he's not a responsive leader. You get me?
Yes.
And he does not respect the rule of law. You get me? The Supreme Court said as much in their judgment that what he has done is illegal. To me, that he has not spoken on it means compliance. See, they say silence means consent. So what else is there for him to? He violated the law. You get me? He violated the law. And don't be too sure that post-election in a new regime, maybe not the Tinubu something. People have flouted constitutions, have imposed themselves as despots and dictators, and years later, they have been brought to trial and justice ensured. So I won't say more than that.
Okay. Well, thank you for your analysis, Mr. Dayo. We always enjoy your often controversial take on things. We appreciate that.